Welcome everyone, welcome back to the hangar, welcome back to Edenvale Airport and Chris's shop. Today we're going to do a little bit of work in Chris's shop. We're going to do an oil change on Mike Victor uniform. I've been watching, sending the oil away for analysis. I'm watching it very closely. I've got a little bit of elevated copper in the oil. And there's a couple of things that could be, so I'm watching it, monitoring very closely. So we're going to change the oil and send that off. It's not making any metal. There's nothing showing up in the oil filter. Nothing to be too worried about, but you know, the prudent thing is to watch it carefully. The second thing I want to do is change the baffle seals. I've got elevated temperatures on two of the cylinders, cylinder 4 and cylinder 6. Cylinder 6 on climb out, cylinder 4 in cruise. They kind of swap. There's a bunch of things that could be, and we've tested a couple of them already. We've done a pressure test on the intake manifold to see if there were any sort of leaks, which would be causing those two cylinders to be running a little bit lean, which would cause elevated temperatures. That checked out fine. We keep borescoping the exhaust valves. A little bit of wear, as you would expect from this engine, but still in really good shape. But we continue to borescope them every chance that we get. We're going to change the baffle seals. I've noticed on the one side of the engine, and you'll see this when we pull it apart. On one side of the engine, the baffle seal isn't sealing up against the cowl the way it should. That's the side that's too hot, and the baffle seal is old, it's dry, it's hard, it's not doing its job. So that's coming off and we're going to replace it. The cowl, that you can see the mark where the seal's supposed to touch, and on this side it's not touching as well as it on that side, and you can see where there's some leaks. Air leaking through. Changing them up.
It looks, its viscosity feels like it's down a bit. It's not as slippery as normal, right? And it's not black. It's more brown, right? So I think it's okay. I think it's good. We're not finding anything in it. We'll do a sample and find out what they have to say about it. So Glen's been running his oil level too high and burning off oil. So, but like blow by on like if you got blow by and stuff, it might make it dark like this. Yeah. We'll see. But it's not bad, it's still brown. Mine's black, like black. And I need 6 cylinders. See, I wonder, like, see that one right there? It lines up.
Almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But none of the rest of them.
No.
Yeah. So
it's essentially, should I...
Like, I would have almost pushed that back. See that other 1/4 inch?
Mm-hmm.
It's there. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Which will actually put that hole on that one. And then just go from there. Was that a hole you drilled? Or
No, it was existing.
Yeah, see, it seems to be that one and that one.
So put it in that
Yeah.
one.
And then new holes will be easier for us to rivet too, anyway. Yeah, and then just kind of, it's nice there. Nice.
So should I drill holes in the aluminum following the rubber, or should I drill holes in the rubber following the aluminum?
The holes are probably kind of mangled from before.
Okay.
And the hole stretches when you put a rivet in it. See, that hole looks bigger than your drill bit now.
Yep.
And so you're probably best to go through here. And down.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we got fresh holes. Our rivets will come together. If the hole's a little oblong, then the rivet will dump over that direction.
Okay.
Because look, it's easier.
A couple of them do line up.
Yeah. So, and then to do that, like find one or two, why not, and then the rest.
And then drill the rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just go kind of, like, so you don't want it punched up, like, so start at one end, like, so you're here,
Yeah.
work your way away from it. See if you do what you're doing there, you're gonna get this little,
It's gonna bunch.
little pleat. You
Yeah.
almost want to work your way away. You might only get one on each one that will line up.
Okay, so I've got the first couple Clico in place. It's a bit of a puzzle. There are parts numbers on each of these. They're cut to shape parts numbers, but they're not. They don't match Cessna parts numbers. They don't quite match the shape of what was on here before, so it's a little bit of a puzzle to figure out which parts go where. We've got the Baffle seals on, we did the oil change, and now we're going to put on the Aithre Shield eDot 5.0 CO monitor. I'm sure if you've ever been in a small plane, you've got one of these somewhere inside the plane.
And these things suck because right now that thing failed.
Has it failed
It
already?
says, yeah, it's a dark spot is dangerous. It's a dark spot.
And it's already changed dark.
Yeah, and if you go out there, there's two other airplanes that have dark spots and they're flying around with them. There's no audible. When you have carbon monoxide poison, you will not look at that. You will die.
Yeah. So I figured this one has a giant warning light that changes color depending on. Much better. And my understanding is, although I haven't really fully researched it, and this may only be for the experimental Dynon systems, you can hook this into the Dynon if you're experimental. Because I'm certified, I don't think I'm allowed to do it.
Okay, now where are we going to put it?
It says to put it outside of your. What is that area? Your primary vision?
Okay.
It says outside of your primary vision, but still within a scan area, so right beside the autopilot button, I think.
Right there?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see what's behind there. Okay, in the cabin heat.
Yeah, I'm not getting any heat. No heat, but it's still early in the season, so it's not too bad yet. another couple of weeks. Another couple of weeks and I'm going to need some heat. So what they say for mounting the box is obviously somewhere where there's cabin air.
Yeah.
But also somewhere that it can gauge light value.
Okay, yeah.
Because it auto dims.
Oh, okay.
So it'll auto dim the light.
Huh, it kind of matches the decor.
So Chris mounted it on the bottom side of a shelf under the panel. The top side of that shelf has all of the Dynon equipment on it. So it's underneath in the cabin air, and also it has a dimmer in it, so it can see the light in the cabin and it'll be able to dim. So Chris has got it installed. Only 2 wires, power wires, to actually hook into the aircraft. And we'll run it through its startup. So it has a startup sequence where it flashes through all the different colors. Normal, caution, warning. And then there you go. Back to normal. Okay, so it goes through its startup, and Chris...
Don't smoke.
Don't smoke. It's bad for you.
Kids don't smoke. But this is our test. Yeah, they say smoking will hurt you. It doesn't even give you carbon monoxide. There we go. Oh, wait. Well, I don't think it'll give us a warning, will it? It's cautioning. I wonder what else would cause carbon monoxide.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Red. Fuck
Red.
yeah. Smoking does kill you.
Okay. Okay, so we got a warning first, and then we got a caution. Obviously, it's time to land the plane with a caution. And so this is good now for 10 years.
So the shelf life on.
Yeah, so they say, and after you install it, you've got 10 years to use it. And then after 10 years, they've tested it to 10 years to be effective. They don't know if it goes beyond that.
Yeah.
What they figure is that after 10 years, you'll start to lose.
Change the module.
Change the module, or you'll just start to lose effectiveness. You'll lose like 1% and then 2% and then 3%, but they don't know what that is yet. 10 years is pretty far into the future.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull that plug. See if it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it moved.
It's okay, Chris. Cabin heat.
Cabin heat 101. Aircraft cabin heat. So on your automotive, you have a water cooling system or a coolant system, and that coolant goes through a heat exchanger, a fan behind the heat exchanger, pushes that heat into the cabin. We don't have liquid cooling, and so we have the airflow, and we use the airflow. It'll come in here. We've got a duct here that will take the air in. It will circulate around. Sometimes there's plates in here to direct the air so it gets maximum heat while it's in there. It will then push out here, come up in this hose into our mixer box. And one of two things, depending on the position of the valve, is that we will get heat if in this position, and we'll get cool through here if in that position. All the extra air and the carb heat is also run off of this box, right? And yeah, that's it. Not much to it.
And so if there's a leak in your exhaust system,
So if there's a leak in your exhaust system, the risk of this system, the benefit is it's lightweight. We add no weight by doing this, simply some ducts and the shrouds. The shrouds actually keep heat from the muffler away from other components within by having a cooling area or an airlock area, so it won't melt the cowl and stuff. So also keeps the exhaust from overheating the areas around it, as well as it goes around. The risk with that is any cracking or anything like that that may be found inside the shroud area is the exhaust is allowed to come in, and in turn that picks up the carbon monoxide, and the silent killer goes into the cabin and kills you. But Glen won't die because he's got Shield eDot 5.0. So that's that. What else? Annually we do an inspection on this in Canada. It's got a special directive. The directive is it's CF9003R2, which regards to inspecting cabin heat systems at every annual inspection or 150 hours of operation. And what we would do is open up the shroud and look for exhaust leakage. In this case, if it was inside, we would see something like that, which would be an indication of exhaust leakage, or something like that that might be indicative of exhaust leakage. This is just out the tailpipe. That's coming from around the clamp. It's outside of our shroud, but we're going to know for sure once Glen gets fired up. It's good.
So that's it for this episode. I'm going to get Mike Victor uniform back to Oshawa. I won't be flying for a couple of weeks because the food channel, Glen and Friends Cooking, we're meeting up with a bunch of viewers in Tokyo. And we're going to be in Tokyo for 2 weeks. Going to film some great food content there, but no flying, unfortunately. So at this point, I need to monitor my engine temperatures, my cylinder head temperatures, and make sure that those go down. Pretty sure that they will drop a fair bit with those new Baffle seals. And I'm going to get hooked up with the app. There's a cell phone app that goes with this carbon monoxide monitor, and it connects through Bluetooth and downloads all the information, and it tracks what your CO is in the cabin, so that you can see trends if there's any problems coming up. It may not set off a warning, but you can watch trends, and then you can get ahead of them before you get to the point where there's carbon monoxide in the cabin, because that's not good. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.